Hi everybody, I'm Walt Lewis. We're here with another Fire Engineering Training Minutes. Today we're going to learn about how to read the map for United States National Grid. I've got my friend Al Studt again to help us out. Al, let's learn about reading the map.
Thank you, Walt. So we have a map here of our present location. This is a gridded map. A map without a grid is just a picture, and a gridded map is a tool. This is a tool that can be used tactically, also for pre-plans. And what I'm going to do now is plot our present position. First off, I'm going to identify the fact that we are in grid zone designator 17R, referred to as 17 Romeo. That identifies eastern Florida. Next, we're in the 100-kilometer ID of MM or Mike. That uniquely identifies our area in central Florida. Next, we're going to talk the eastings and the northings, and we use the rule is right then up. So to plot any position, as an example, this dot right here, I'm going to go how many distance over at right and how much up, right then up. So for our present location, we are next to the training tower at Seminole County Fire Rescue, and we're actually in the little building to the east of it. And so we are 30% over approximately, and we're 40% up. And so that is the location of our present position. And how I would read that on the map is I start off with the 699, and I'm approximately 30% over, so I would add a 3. And at grid 773, I'm approximately 40% up, so our grid coordinates would be 6993, 7734.
Okay, and on the grid readers that you may have for a smaller map would have those delineations of the 10s that would break it all down. So like that 30% you talked about, that would just be the 3 on the line coming across.
That is correct.
So using our easting coming across here, we're using the reference 699, and on those delineated marks on a grid reader, maybe on a smaller size map, it would come up to a 3 or a 4 coming all the way across, because that would be 0 coming all the way to 10, and then it starts again for this, and then that would be 3 for there. So 6993 for our easting, and then 773 and for our northing, coming up to where the notches would be at 4, and that would put us right on that location. 10 meters square definitely finds a building, finds a general area where we're going to find a patient, and it's not that big. It's the size of most houses or even smaller.
That's correct, Walt. So what you're referring to back to the grid reader is different maps have different scales, and grid readers are used with specific scale maps. This map is what's called a hasty map. I made this map in minutes, and we created this map for this training series today. It doesn't have the extra divisions, but in some cases or most cases it's good enough. This type of map can be made in minutes by an incident commander sitting in his incident command vehicle, emailed out to teams or printed in a vehicle and handed to teams that need to search for a lost child, as an example. So this map, again, is a hasty map, has all the information necessary on it.
You touched on the maps and the sending them out. Is in Hurricane Harvey, when we were deployed, like many USAR teams, we had our access to the mapping systems, but in some areas we would lose that. We would have our GPS still, but we needed to make sure that we had a good view of a map, and not uncommonly did I look this up from the information you were sending to us from back home, where it was clean and easy to work from. Send it to me and I could take photos of it, so I always had it on my device. If the batteries died in my GPS, I still had it on my phone. I still had a picture. I had a lot of cross-referencing to make sure I knew where I was going, so my crews were safe.
That's correct, Walt. The hasty map concept, we create these files as picture files, and we teach people to save them to their phones as a picture, so with no internet capability they can pull that file up and use it. Again, the gridded map is very important. These devices, GPS and cell phones, can be used to geolocate the user to this type of hasty map. With regard to the plotting, again, the rules are right then up, and so we did that. We went right and then we went up. Grid readers are great for, like I said, specific scale maps. We don't have that case as we are today.
Once we have this identifier for most of Florida, 17R, and that large area of Central Florida of MM, Mike, we can use all these squares and not have to reference this every time, but just by those 4 digits for the easting and 4 digits for the northing, put us on any location pretty much in Central Florida.
That's correct. during a pre-operational briefing or daily ops in a regular fire station running daily medical calls and fire calls, once you know where you're located, you can choose to what's called truncate the grids. You can truncate the grid zone designator and the 100-kilometer ID and just use the eastings and the northings. One example here is this cul-de-sac is inside of grid 699772. That is a 100-meter grid and is what medical helicopters could use to identify that landing zone if we chose to make that a helispot. All we would need to say is 699772, and that identifies that 100-meter box. And I've been assured by the pilots when they come in on high recon, they will find the marshaller and find that spot no problem. Nationwide, helicopters are used to move patients, and the location of that LZ or helispot can be done in 6 digits. Well, one of the things I wanted to discuss was the 2 free web apps that every firefighter should have on their phone. One is usngapp.org. I can open usngapp.org, let it see the satellite system, and it will display my coordinates as they are, very simply and succinctly. This could be used for reporting a 911 cell call location. The other is findmesar.com. Findmesar.com also has the blue screen for US National Grid. It also has a next format button for multiple formats. The standard format for lat long is the red background screen, degrees, minutes, decimal minutes. And back to National Grid, I can hit display map and it will show my present location on the map with an accuracy, and that is our present location today. Please check out the website for more information, including this map on the screen.
Great. Thanks, Al. Appreciate you coming out today. I'm Walt Lewis for Fire Engineering Training Minutes.
And I'm Al Studt.
Thanks for watching.